Monday night. That means I am here with another amazing business to introduce you to. My name is Tiffany Roman. I am your host, and this is Small Biz Highlight. Good evening, everyone. I hope you all had an amazing turkey day, ate to your heart's content, had great times with your family. It has been one heck of a crazy weekend for me with the small business Saturday, even, and everything else in between. So, thank you so much for everybody who supported. As always, a brief reminder that we are live with StreamYard. If you want to leave a comment or ask a question while we are live, please feel free to. We'd love to feature you and your question or comment on the screen. However, if you can, just for one quick second, go to www.streamyard.com/Facebook. That gives Facebook and StreamYard permission to speak to each other. So then we not only see the comment, but see your beautiful profile picture and your name. So we know who's talking to us because, we'd like to acknowledge you completely. As always, my little spread of love and good vibes for the world. 2021. This is your year. Do not think that just because we are at December 6th right now, leaving us with only a few weeks left in this year, that means you can sleep on it. No matter what dreams you have, no matter what goals you have, no matter what aspirations you have, you still have time to at least take that first step into making them your reality. Do not waste time. Take that chance on yourself. You will not regret it. Spread the love and good vibes to all your family and friends, okay? Now, speaking of friends, my invite friends button to like Small Biz Highlights page on Facebook is missing and nobody can fix it for me. So until that time comes, I need your help. Take a moment and stop by the page. Maybe just take a second to like and share this video while we're live right now and put it on your timeline. Encourage your friends and your family on your timeline to come check us out. Encouraging them to stop by is giving not only exposure for the show itself, but more importantly, exposure for the over 100 businesses that I have had the opportunity to interview. You never know what services or products or help someone is looking for out there. And one of my guests and previous guests may just be that person that could help them out. So please help me spread the word. It takes 2 seconds and it's absolutely free. Come on, guys. Every Wednesday, I will take the time to do my weekly update. This Wednesday, I have a ton to update you on, and I will even give you a walkthrough of my new app so you guys can get a little brief, looky at it before you download it, see if it's something you're interested in. I'm so excited about how this app turned out, guys. You don't even know. You don't know. Every 20th of the month, starting back up in January, I will be hosting my networking game night featuring Top Tail. So please, if you don't know, check it out on the Small Biz Highlight Facebook page for more information to figure out how to register for it and get involved. We'd love to have you. It's free. Bring along your friends, anyone that you'd like, get to know further fellow business people and not just what they can do for you, but also learn about them as human beings, get to know them on a personal level. Connections. That's what we're all about here. And you guys know that by now. Thank you so much ahead of time for those that are listening in on our podcast episode of this. Thank you so much. I know that me and my guests are so appreciative of it. For those that may be catching us on replay, make sure to put hashtag replay in the comments. Let us know you were here. We'd love to say hello and acknowledge and thank you. So without further ado, I'm going to stop blabbering away and introduce you to my guests, guys. So tonight I have the honor of introducing you to Mariquita. And probably the only reason why I am able to survive saying that name correctly, which I really hope I did, is because I literally just pronounced it like a Hispanic would. So hopefully a guy looked out. But you guys, I promise one day I'll get better at asking before I go live. We just get into talking about everything else and I completely forget to ask. So it's whatever. But she's an amazing woman with an amazing business. But first, let's bring her on and just get to know her a little bit. Hopefully this computer works with me here. There we go. Hello.
Hi, Tiffany. Hello, everybody.
So did I do okay?
You did better than I can. I can't roll my R's, so Mariquita and
Oh my god. Oh my god. I'm so sorry. No. Oh, awesome. I'm
perfect.
so glad I pronounced it correctly for you. I just every time I get to that point where I'm about to say the name of the guest, I realize, oh crap, I didn't ask beforehand. I'm telling you, it's gonna be my downfall one day. It's gonna be my downfall one day. I'm so excited to have you here tonight. Thank you so much for being here.
Well, thank you for having me. This is very exciting being live with your guest. I mean, with your as a guest and your audience. Yeah, I was looking forward to this all day.
I love to hear that. I love to hear that. All right. So I always start my show off with a very simple question. Some people take it very differently on different approaches, what have you. And that's what I love about it because it helps us get to know you better as a human being before we tune into what your business is all about. So, Mariquita, who are you?
Well, I'm many different people. I'm the lead of the animal ministry, Praying Paws. So that's one person that I am.
Oh, wow.
Yes, I'm a volunteer at the Nature Center, Chattahoochee Nature Center. I'm learning to handle snakes. So that's exciting. I love animals. I'm an animal and nature lover. I love community and getting to know people. That's why I'm passionate about my work. And I love the way that you said that connection is everything, right? We're not here just to
Yeah,
sell, but to really get to know and to be of service, right? I mean, that's the underlying of all this, helping others. And it's beautiful
absolutely.
when we can connect. So that's very inspirational that you said that. So,
Thank you. Yeah, it's always been a priority of mine. I always feel like whenever I watched other shows, they would talk about what they do, what their business is all about, and whatnot, but it never really got down to who they were and why I should do business with them. So that's why I always start out the interview making, the guests really have that opportunity to introduce themselves.
oh, that's beautiful. Thank you.
Oh, you're welcome. All right, so let's talk about this amazing business of yours, feminine empowerment coaching. I mean, it's in the name. It doesn't get more epic than that. But why don't you tell us more about what exactly it is, and we'll go from there.
Well, feminine empowerment coaching is really about moving with grace and strength to get what you want in your life. And you're creating from this power center of wisdom and depth inside your soul and really tuning into that. A lot of times we're trying to create from lack and the belief, these big blocks. Maybe the block is I'm not enough. And so what are we creating from I'm not enough? Something that's not serving. So feminine empowerment coaching is about getting into that deep wisdom and strength and creating from there. And it's not about being pushy, or it's not, some people think it's about, oh well, now you're going to tell people we don't have to get the coffee for them anymore. And it's not about that. It's about coming together and being loving and strong and graceful and getting things done, speaking your voice, not being afraid to stand up for yourself, have boundaries, and get what you deserve in life.
Wow. Okay. I mean, that is just a lot to unfold there. It really is. But I mean, how did this even begin? What was your inspiration to begin feminine empowerment coaching?
Well, I had been working with in coaching for a while, and
Okay.
it was more of a linear coaching. And so I wanted to learn about feminine empowerment. So I started studying feminine empowerment and the difference in the feminine energy. And that's about discovery, and it's not forcing, and it's not mapped out. It's about listening and the wonder of what is going to be presented. So that was fascinating for me because especially most of my life I thought femininity was something I didn't want to have anything to do with. I wanted to be a boy when I was a little girl. I thought, my gosh, my brother gets to play and do all the fun things if I was only a boy.
Oh yeah.
So I thought, who wants feminine power? And I didn't understand that. And so I'm just so excited to really grasp the meaning of feminine power and to be able to share this with the world. You know, there's so many women out there that believe that they really don't understand it. So being able to be a leader in this industry is amazing.
Wow. All right. So just because your business is called feminine empowerment, it's not necessarily saying that, it's like a He-Man man haters club kind of thing, like in Little Rascals, right?
Oh my gosh, no, no, no. I love masculinity. I love men. I love that energy. I mean, we got to have a balance. What will we do without them?
Oh
I'm not
gosh,
here to,
yes.
right? And there's a lot of women that like are saying, I don't need a man. And that's not what this is about. This is about the beautifulness of coming together. I mean, we need people. We need each other. So knowing that we need each other, and it's not an unhealthy needing like codependency, but just learning from each other, supporting each other, and acknowledging the
Mm,
beautifulness that we can all bring together when we work together for the universe and stepping away from our egos, coming together for the good of mankind, the good of the earth, the good of the sun, the good of the moon, right? It's a
yes.
big it's different.
Oh, yes. I feel like this is such a huge topic recently, just because of all of us coming out of the COVID shutdowns and getting back into whatever normal life looks like for all of us now, getting back into the swing of things and whatnot. I mean, while we were shut down and not able to communicate with people and just kind of, some of us were lucky enough to be shut down with family, friends, what have you, but some of us were just left to our own devices. I mean, to have the support that you're talking about, having something like that is just so powerful and something I don't think you recognize that is something you need until you don't have access to it. Don't you think?
Definitely, and it's really sad. I mean, we all feel lonely at times, but people that really don't have that support, and maybe you're really struggling, and you just don't have anyone in your corner. The resources are there, whether it's me, whether it's you, Tiffany, or whether
Yes.
it's down the street. And it's about opening up to the resources of this unlimited potential that is here in this universe.
Oh, absolutely. So if someone wanted to reach out to you about your services and whatnot, is there a free consultation call that you do to begin with to kind of get the feel of what they're looking for from you?
Definitely. We can have a free coffee chat just to get clarity on what's the next step. I mean, what is lying here that maybe you can't see and that I could see it? This beautifulness of you and this wisdom that you're carrying, to tap into that and see what is laying ahead, right? What can be
Yes.
discovered.
And then what does a typical session with you how does that usually work? Is it a set period of time? Is it like a schedule of multiple sessions with you to kind of break it down? How does it usually work with you?
So I have 3 month coaching programs, and we
Okay.
really um, we look at the big blocks. So these underlying beliefs, what are they that are hindering you, and what are the behaviors that go along with, like, let's just say, I'm invisible. What's the behavior that goes along with that? You're not speaking your voice. You're not, and then you're saying people are narcissists. Well, are you letting them know what you need, right? And how you can work together?
Wow.
Are you silencing yourself? And then you're seeing them as narcissists. So we're taking responsibility for our actions. We created everything in our life, and now we can create something better with different behaviors and from the power center to get the dreams that we want out of our life, to create things that we don't even know are possible. So that's what I do. And we start out with a centering meditation just to bring in that wisdom, to welcome it, to welcome the bigger story here, and to open up to
Mhm.
greater listening, tapping into the universe, tapping into that knowledge. That's how every session is started out, giving thanks and sitting in gratitude and power.
Mm. Wow, that's definitely something I've been trying to teach myself to incorporate into my day a lot more lately, just gratitude, starting out with what am I grateful for today? And it's something, it seems so simple. Like it doesn't seem like it would make any difference to your day until you start doing it and you're like, "Whoa, what just happened?" It's so crazy.
It's so true. And then a lot of times we're just running around like chickens with our heads cut off. And we, when we
Yeah.
just take a minute to stop and say, like, is everything really so bad? Like we say, like we're having a horrible day, or maybe we're just having a rough 10 minutes, or whatever. But then we really think about where we're living and that we have a roof over our heads, and just to stop and give thanks. And we can step out of that ego and give and get back into our hearts, and then into that cultivating love and newness and thanksgiving.
Yes. Geez. So we mentioned COVID a little bit earlier. The shutdowns just had such an effect on all types of businesses. And even, some had positive effects, some had nothing, not very much effect to them. What would you say your effect was as a result of the shutdowns?
Well, I was forced to really level up, and that's when I decided to learn about feminine energy and really really study it intensely and bring it into my whole being, because I thought
Mm.
I want to move forward and keep growing. And so that was the way it affected me, and it's been amazing.
Wow. And so since you started focusing more on, feminine empowerment and whatnot, what are some of the most common things you have been helping your clients with? Let's common, stumbles or hurdles that you see that they're having, and what kind of advice have you been giving them?
Well, I see a lot of women that are not using their voice. They're not speaking, and they're afraid to set boundaries. And this happens in their professional life. And a lot of the
Mm,
women, they are in the male dominated industries, and so they've grown up with strong masculine figures who have felt, and then they feel suppressed. So coming overcoming that and speaking up. A lot of other women in their relationships are trapped in codependency and overgiving, like the belief of I'm not enough, so I have to overgive and my needs don't matter. So realizing that we are perfectly imperfect and beautiful as we are today, and our needs do matter, my needs do matter, and I'm going to honor them.
mm,
So that's another big one that I work with the women, these
wow.
beautiful women with.
Yeah, those are pretty big ones. And they seem like they would be very common just because, like you said, especially in a male dominated field, like you said, with people suppressing their voices and stuff. I mean, I've seen it plenty of times in the military, a guy would speak up very easily to a female who was in charge, but the females aren't standing up for themselves to the men who are in charge. Um, and it's such a crazy world that we live in sometimes, but it's so great to have people like you to give that kind of, outside scenario like, hey, whoa, let's look at this from a totally different angle and see why it's better that you do stand up for yourself. It's got to be just so educational for these women to sit with you and have that opportunity to really have that, you know, perspective from you.
Yeah, and women don't realize that we are so good at speaking up for other people. You'll see in studies that we do that all the time. We don't have a problem speaking up for our children or for our friends, but we don't want to do that for ourselves. So it's when we take back our power and realizing, wait a minute, I can speak up for myself, and now I've got someone who's holding me accountable, someone that's cheering me on, and I can really be empowered and step away from these old beliefs that we've been taught as children. That's a big one there, and we don't even know that we're living in that. The belief is not a two-dimensional belief; it's a whole belief that's encompassing us, and we're keeping the belief alive. So what you're saying is so true. Stepping up for ourselves, valuing ourselves, speaking our voice. And what you said about the military, yes, I can. A lot of women that I work with have that issue with being in the military and feeling suppressed And what kind of life is it when you're suppressing yourself? I mean, it's staying in here, and you deserve so much better. You deserve it.
Yeah.
And when you speak your truth, you're living in wholeness. And that's where what I work with, living in alignment with these beliefs of I am I'm Mariquita who's empowered, instead of I'm desperate Mariquita, because desperate Mariquita was creating a whole new world, and it was a world that I didn't want to live in, a world of pleading and begging and it's unfulfillment. And this world that I now live in is unlimited potential. And what's going to be created from that? Every day, something new is created from that center of power, instead of creating from that sadness and desperation.
Yes. Yes. Gosh, I mean, wow. I don't know about you, but that's just so profound. I love that. Thank you very much for sharing that. It's so true what you're saying, and it's so amazing the angle that you're coming at it with. Wow. Anyway, so we're gonna take a quick short break. I'm gonna show off a quick little video for you all for my sponsor for today, Text for More. And when we come back, I would love to pick your brain for tips and tricks you may have for those who maybe don't have the funds to, get the help from you or any other coach, but some things that they can do in their normal lives until they can get to that point. So just give me one sec. We'll be right back.
Are you tired of missed business opportunities because you don't have the marketing tools that big companies do? Do you want to generate more sales with less effort or technical knowledge? Text for More is a digital marketing solution that is both your digital brochure and web presence that connects you directly to your customers. Best of all, Text for More is proven to deliver results. In fact, some of our clients have seen their monthly revenue increase by as much as 5 times in the first couple of months. To get started today, text the keyword MORE to 317-342-8114 and see how we can assist you. Text for More. Next generation brochures for the digital age.
Big shout out and thank you to Ryan for this amazing opportunity to have him be my first official sponsor. So grateful for this opportunity. So yes, back to you, Mariquita. For those of us who are on a tight budget, a lot of us, we're out of the job for most of the COVID shutdowns and whatnot. So we're just kind of trying to scrape our way through all the madness right now. But we could always use some tips, tricks, things we could do to practice better mental health for ourselves during the day. Give us a couple of them that you would suggest.
Well, I would suggest really looking at what you're saying to yourself, because I love what Jim Quick said. He said, your brain is like a supercomputer and your self talk
Mm,
is the program it's running. So it's so important to lift ourselves up. I used to be basting in poison, I was poisoning myself. So make sure that we're watering ourselves with love, because love is going to grow something. And so take a look at that, and start shifting, and be gentle with yourself. Let's say you said, oh my God, I'm screwing it up again. So instead of saying, beating yourself up for that, just say, oh gosh, look, I just did it again. And just laugh about it. Say, darn it, here we go again. But guess what? I'm replacing that old statement with a statement of, I'm freaking amazing and I can do everything that I was born to do. So replacing, just being mindful, catching yourself,
mm.
and seeping yourself in love to make up for maybe all the seeping and poison you might have done before.
Oh, wow. You know, it seemed like I said with the other tidbit earlier of doing the gratitude at first thing in the morning. It seems like simply changing your words is such a simple task. It's not, guys. Once you're so used to talking a certain way for so long, then you're trying to teach yourself to be more, uplifting or more on your team, because let's face it, we are our worst critics and you all know that. but to teach yourself to change your words to benefit you more, bring more light into your day, it's hard work to begin with. It's total hard work. But once you start getting used to it and start recognizing what you're saying and realizing that now you're starting to believe it, not just say it, but you're believing it. Ooh, you want to talk about a change in your day. That's one epic change. Don't you think so?
Yes, and you're right. It takes work, it takes time, but and it takes easiness, just doing it with easy. No, hey, this might be a challenge, but I got it. I'm going to do it. Commitment.
Yes, you're absolutely right. I love that tip. Thank you so much for that, Mariquita. I really appreciate that.
You're
Oh
welcome,
man. All right.
Tiffany.
So if you are just catching us, you're gonna have to watch the replay. I'm just putting that out there. No, we've been talking with Mariquita from. We've been talking about talking with Mariquita, not about Mariquita. Goodness gracious, people! I gotta get my stuff together. But no, she's with Feminine Empowerment Coaching. Helping women just find their true selves and be okay with it. That's the best way I can summarize this because that's just how I feel coming out of this conversation. I just think that's such an amazing, you know, um, power and message that you have with your business. I feel like it's something we often put aside because women are always worried about everybody else and not really worried about themselves too much, like you mentioned earlier. So, this I can absolutely see being such a benefit to so many women out there. So, thank you so much for recognizing that it is a need and creating this business. Um, if you are interested in learning more about Mariquita and her services, what exactly it is to get involved with her, I showed her website. All the links to find her, to contact her are included in the comments. I put them into the description of the video. And of course, if you are catching us on our podcast episode, it will be in the description of the podcast as well. Please click away, find her, and see how she can benefit your life, and where it can go from there. You never know unless you ask for help what somebody can be able to do for you. You never know. That's all it takes. Thank you so much, Mariquita, for being here tonight, for offering up just so much amazing information about you and your business. I just really appreciate it.
Thank you, Tiffany. This was a lot of fun, very easy, and the way it should be. That's life, right? Happy and fun.
I'm so glad you feel that way. Thank you so much. Oh gosh. It was such a pleasure having you on here tonight. And I want to just give everybody your friendly reminder to put your communities first by shopping small and supporting local businesses. I will be right back momentarily with my next guest. Have a great night, everyone.
Thank you.